Hello, Taurus. Here we are. Let's get to the weeklies, friends. How you doing? Happy birthday. I hope you're well. And yeah, let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. We're going to do a 9-card draw. That's what's been really tickling my brain lately, so let's go for it. Let's find out what's going on for you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. At the end of the video, I'll tell you about how to find the extendeds and the private reads. Let's find out what's going on, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. 9-card draw for Taurus. What's going on in the week ahead, please? Tell me about Taurus. We've got, excuse me, we've got the moon. We've got the 6 of Swords. And we've got the 5 of, the 4 of Pentacles. Look, Taurus, I think you're moving on from uncertainty. I feel like, it feels like I just saw somebody open the door to a hallway. And the hallway is really long. It's like all these doors are in the hallway. So it feels like that you are moving on from uncertainty. I feel like for you, uncertainty is chaos, of course, right? Because you're grounded, you're solid, you like things in order, you like to gather information. Like it feels like, Uranus, this feels like Uranus has finally really truly let go of you, because Uranus's job was to bring upheaval to your stability. And I feel now that it's almost like it's safe to come out. I would say with the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse, it feels like it's, Charlie's showing me, the good witch, Glinda. She's like, it's okay. It's all right. You can come out. That's what it feels like here, Taurus. Tell me more about Taurus, please. We've got the 9 of Swords. Yeah, it was pretty worrisome there for a while, I think. Center of the reading. I love it. Look at that. We got the 4 of Swords. I like it. Healing, friend. Healing of the mind and body. Taking a time and a moment for you, taking a beat. It's time to rest. We've got the Hermit energy here. So I feel like this is, to me, that's being vulnerable now. You're no longer shut off or shut down. It feels like you're about to be more vulnerable, more social, coming out of Hermit energy here. Feels like you found your light, friend, or you found some strength in here in the Hermit energy. I feel like that's where most of your healing was done. It was probably physical, mental, and spiritual healing that you went through or are about to go through. We've got the Queen of Cups. We've got the 4 of Cups. And we've got the Page of Cups. Look, I feel like a surprise invitation shows up and pulls you out of this energy that you've been for the last little while. It does feel like it's almost like you're afraid to come out. I'm seeing my mind's eye. I'm seeing somebody who just opens the door and peeks out to the street to make sure everything is good before I step out. It feels like you're cautiously optimistic, but after going through 8 years of towers, I feel like somebody here is like, I just want to make sure it's all clear before I leave the Hermit energy for the next extended period of time. I really feel like you've been doing a lot of healing, but I think that's caused you to be sort of in a comfort zone of healing, getting stability of the mind, stability of, resting your mind. I feel like in the 4 of Cups tells me that you've been in this comfort zone for a while. I feel like you just chose to disembark and stay home. That's what it feels like. I just need to lay down, relax. Sometimes when you're in the 9 to 5, you tend to stuff some activity in between every single moment that you're free because you don't want like your job to rule your life. But I think that somebody here has decided, you know what? I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to lay down. It's time for me to heal. I'm just going to lay on the sofa. I'm going to turn off the lights and I'm going to watch the TV. Like it feels like somebody here has decided that I'm just going to take care of me. You've been through a lot here, Taurus. It's this moon energy is like having PTSD, and if you have it, you can chime off in in the comments, but I have complex PTSD. And for someone who has PTSD, you're always looking over your shoulder. You're always waiting for something to sneak up on you, something to go wrong. You're waiting for the sky to fall. You're in Chicken Little syndrome, right? So it feels like this moon energy and the Nine of Swords tells me that something went down emotionally here. It's like you don't trust emotions. You don't trust people that are kind to you. You're like, okay, what's going on? What's the underlying thing here? Why are you coming at me with this kind, compassionate, loving stuff when, yeah, it's just, I feel like, it feels like, yeah, right. Yeah, you just want to give me kindness. It feels like that. Nine of Swords. I worry about what is lurking in the dark. Things are not as they seem. Can I trust the situation? When people are kind to you, you get a little bit suspicious because you are a person who I feel always practices kindness. And I mean, that's not 100% rule, right? Not every Taurus is kind, I'm just going to say. But I feel like for the most part, whose energy I'm getting here is somebody who really does practice being kind. But I feel as though you've had enough. It feels like you've had enough. You are finally leaving. It's funny that I said disembarking and then we show a boat, right? It feels like you've decided that you just want to stay out of the way. No more chaos. I don't have any more time to give to chaos. I feel like you are a lot more vulnerable than you used to be. Or you're ready to be seen, be vulnerable. I don't think you're in this mood of, not interested in sharing anything with anybody, because the Four of Pentacles is in the reverse, which tells me you are ready to share, but I think you're cautiously optimistic. That's what it feels like here. I'm just going to put down 2 cards here. We're going to see what is underneath the surface, Taurus, and then we'll clarify a little bit. What's under the surface that Taurus cannot see? We've got the World card. You're ending a chapter, friend. It is true. I'm telling you, it is true that you are ending a chapter in your life that I feel is a chapter of stoicism, I'm going to say. It feels as though when something good goes on, you're the King of Cups. When something bad goes on, you're the King of Cups. I don't think you tell people. I don't think you share your losses. I don't think you share your losses. I don't think you share your wins. I think you're just sort of coasting on the surface while everything else is going on underneath the surface. It feels like you're no longer going to be that person. I feel like you're about to speak out or come out of a dark place, or because the Four of Pentacles is in the reverse. That's it. If it makes people uncomfortable that I'm going to share my emotions, then let them be uncomfortable. It feels like you're coming to a milestone, a place where you've decided to close the door, a chapter of the way you used to be, and it's time to open a chapter to who you want to be. Got somebody who's leveling up here. We've got the Empress energy with the Nine of Cups. Is that 9? Yeah, 9 of Cups. So I feel like somebody here is like, I'm good. I'm sovereign. I'm good on my own. I don't really need you. And so if you want to be part of my life, then knock on the door. And if you don't want to be part of my life, that's cool too. But I've decided that I am leaving this dark space of worry. I'm leaving this space of not knowing what happens next or what's coming next. I feel like what you're doing is you're forcing the door. So you're saying, you know what? I want to be prepared for what comes next. So I'm not going to be shut off and shut down. I'm going to connect with people. And I will also act accordingly. Tell me about the Six of Swords here. Feels like you're moving to a calmer space and time in your life here, Taurus. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Got the Three of Swords. It does feel like somebody here is about to leave a job. I think you're going to be switching jobs, switching careers. I don't think that you want to, but I think you're going to do it because you need to be in calmer energy. It feels like whatever is going on right now, the reasons that you are in the boat, I think count. And I feel like whatever it is too chaotic. I feel like you have to make an independent decision. Yep, a unilateral decision to take your knowledge, everything you've learned, and move forward with it. I don't think you want to go, but I think it's the best thing for you. And I think you're in this energy now of, I think if anything that Uranus has taught you in the last 7 or 8 years is that I've got to put me first. You've got to put yourself first, Taurus. You got to stop giving and overgiving. It's time for you to put yourself first. Now, the Three of Swords tells me that it's disappointing that I have to go, but the chaos isn't going to stop. You've got to remove yourself from the chaos. Let's talk about the Nine of Swords, because I feel like the bold move that you're making, it does feel like it is. It's because you've gleaned enough information. Look, Taurus is always told that they're stubborn, and say what you want. It's usually a sign who will do something on the drop of a dime that will call Taurus stubborn. But Taurus is the one who's actually getting information. The Eight of Pentacles is sometimes about perfection, but also about, I need more data. Before I move forward, I need more data because I'm not going to spend all of my energy doing what you want me to do. I need more data to make sure that it's something that I want to do. So Taurus, it does feel like you're moving away from something that contributed to the worry and the darkness that you were living in. And I don't think you want to leave. So we could be talking about a job or a relationship or somewhere where you're making all the money. It feels like it's time for you to move forward. And although it's going to be hurtful or disappointing, you've got to go to a calmer place. No more living in chaos. So you've got the Nine of Swords here, which I feel is also connected to this moon energy. It feels like things are not as they seem, and that's what worried you because your stability was up for grabs for a while, right? Uranus was like all up in your stability and shaking things like a freaking snow globe. And so I feel like this Seven of Swords is saying, I'm kind of scared. It's like I was telling you, somebody's like peeking out the door saying, is it safe to come out? That's what it feels like. The Seven of Swords is here because I don't think you really trust people anymore. I think that you've gone through so much change, so many towers, so many things shifting that you don't trust the situation. You don't trust the employer. You don't trust people. I feel like you're trying to heal this not being very trusting of the situation and people around you because you've learned that things aren't always as they seem. So you're a little bit cynical, I would say, which isn't a bad thing. We got the Nine of Pentacles and we got the Seven of Cups. So it does feel like, I feel like you're very careful. You're being very careful because you still have this, you're not really sure who's lying to you and who's not lying to you. Because I feel like you've gone through a lot of lessons over the last 7 years, Taurus, and although they've built you to the Nine of Pentacles, a place where you're confident, a place where you can carry, you can maybe do your own business, or you're making more money than you were last year, or you've got more responsibility, better reputation. It feels like you've gone through maybe some sort of a health upgrade, or that you've changed the way you look on the outside and the inside because of all the changes that went on the inside. It feels like you have learned that you can't always trust people. And the Seven of Cups is the ultimate of maybe that's an illusion, right? Maybe all the opportunities that I thought I had, or all the friends I thought I had, maybe that was an illusion. I feel like you don't necessarily trust people after this last round of Uranus in your sign. But you know what? Mercury's in Taurus, and Mercury is going to make you think all about those things. It's your communication. I feel like this is part of that communication, right? You're now going to be communicating with people, but unapologetically. I feel like you're going to do it in the kindest way you can, because this here, you found your light. But I feel like people are going to be surprised that you're coming out of hermit mode here, or out of your comfort zone, to actually go out and do things with them. Tell me about what went on in hermit energy for Taurus. We've got the Five of Wands, we've got the Star energy, and we have the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. Yeah, Taurus, I feel this really deeply for you here. It feels like somebody here has decided to stop saving people. Taurus, if you're a person who would just be laying there on the sofa and get the phone call and you're like, yep, I'm on it, I'll help you. I don't think you are. I think that you are laying back down and saying, not today. I can't do it because the Seven of Pentacles is in the reverse. I think that you are no longer, and intentionally, you are no longer running to the, running out to do work. I feel like you're no longer putting time, effort, or energy or money into something that you used to always put your time, effort, and energy in. I feel like you're in your healing era, friend. That's what it feels like. Look, the Star comes after the Tower, and you've gone through a lot of towers. And so I feel like that you're struggling, though. It does feel like being like you never struggled to be home by yourself, but I feel like you're struggling with the healing, because it's going to mean that you have to do things different than you did before if you expect to get a different result. But for those of you who have gone through 7 or 8 years of hell with Uranus and you haven't made a change in your life, then you're probably still enduring it. So I feel like for those of you who have learned your lessons, I feel like you are battling the healing process, because that's going to mean that you're going to have to stop servicing people around you, giving them your time, effort, and energy when you don't even have any left for yourself. Tell me about the 4 of Cups, please. We've got the 10 of Swords, we've got the Hanged Man, and we've got the 10 of Pentacles. Yeah, Taurus, I feel like you've realized the value of stability of your emotions. And sometimes the way we figure out that the stability of the emotions feels the best is by drawing in our energy or taking it back. Taking back our power, drawing back our energy, and stabilizing our emotions. I feel like the 10 of Pentacles is telling me you see great value in that now. And I don't think you did before. I think that you were into servicing, helping. And now I think you've pulled your energy in and you're like, you know what? Maybe I just need to pause. I need to get perspective about who has hurt me, who's not given me what I've given them, who's betrayed me. Because I feel like it's somebody here who kept giving, and was betrayed anyway. It feels like you're now in a perspective of, you realize that staying home, doing your thing, staying out of people's way, and maybe just building your own life is probably the way to go, at least for a little bit, not forever. But it feels like what you're doing now is you're thinking more into the future, Taurus, about what do I want my life to feel like by the end of 2026. And that's why I think you're making a bunch of changes. But your biggest change is now you're servicing yourself. You're healing. You're giving yourself, maybe some of you are seeing a psychologist. Like it feels like you're now into journaling, repairing the self, healing the mind, healing the body. I may not answer that text today. Sometimes I get in those places because I have so much on my plate. I get into those places where, you know what, I don't need to answer that text today. Nobody's set themselves on fire. I don't have to put out any fires today. So I feel like somebody here is in a spiritual retreat, also finding their light. I feel as though this is a healing place for you, but you are really, really battling yourself about whether or not to be of service to others. I think that somebody is going to show up who is going to surprise you and ask you to come out of this energy here. By that time, I think you'll be ready because the 4 of Pentacles is in the reverse. We're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please look at the top of all of the comments. There is one pinned comment. In that comment, you will find a link to the membership area. You'll also find a link to the private reads. If that's what you want to do with your time, then I will see you in both of those places. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. We're going to talk about the Chariot because you're about to get some sort of victory. I'm going to go for now. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.